Hey, so the holidays are coming up and I love to make handmade gifts for my friends. So I got started early with my ideas because I didn't know how long they would take me because I kind of want to make multiple, like the same thing for everybody. That would require a lot of planning and crafting. So I needed to get started early and my initial idea kind of got scrapped. So I quickly shifted to making some like clay items, and I have a video on my channel from like 2 years ago where I made clay pins and I used safety pins as the pin part, and I did a test a few days ago of if that would work with the current clay that I'm using, which is paper clay, and it was successful. And with that, I was still feeling like playing with clay, and through like a lot of my inspiration research, I saw a lot of like fruit clay things and I thought they were really cute, and I wanted to kind of play on the idea of like making a little like fruit clay friend with a little face on it. And like I saw like a lot of like clay fruit pins and I thought they were adorable. It's not an original idea, a fruit with a face on it. I'm gonna be painting those today, kind of workshop color ideas for the pins that I want to make. I also wanted to test if the ideas that I drew would even work, would even like translate to clay, and they kind of did, but I'll probably have to do some tweaking when I make the pins again. But I'm gonna be painting these today. Sorry about this long intro about this whole thing, but I just wanted to explain like what I'm doing and my ideas. And if you guys really like the little clay friends, I would love to do a tutorial on them because I think I want to make more of like different fruits. Please comment below if you want to see a tutorial and I would happily do it. Yeah, so let's just get painting. For a previous clay project that I did, I used gouache paint because that's just what I felt like using because I had some in my wet palette already available and it worked out really well. So I'm just gonna use some more that I already have here to continue this. So if you have gouache paint and if you ever wondered if you could paint that on air dry clay, you can, because I've done it before and also people online have done it before too, because I did check if I could. I'm gonna use this gouache. It's from the brand Art Creation. Had this since art school, so I've just continued using it. Starting with the clay pins, I really didn't have color ideas for these, so I'm literally just using the colors that I have here that I left in my wet palette, which was kind of the bad decision that I made in this painting because the colors are very muted and they're of the same color palette, which is great, but that's not exactly what I wanted to do. I didn't want them to be different and like actually cute colors, and I had an issue where I completely ran out of white paint, to the point where I'd have to just like stick a paintbrush inside of the tube to actually get anything out. So I really wasn't able to mix with white to like make some of the colors that I wanted, because I wanted this to kind of be like a nice pink red heart, and I only really had like a purplish red to work with here. So I painted the heart a red, and I think I changed it a couple of times later on, but now finally getting into painting the orange. I'm gonna go back and forth a lot with the pins, but for the fruits I really was sketching out like a million ideas in my sketchbook of like how I wanted them to look. And something about me is that I love color, I love patterns, color theory, color mixing, and despite wearing all black pretty much all of the time, I do love color. So when I decided to make these, I sketched so many ideas and versions of what I wanted them to look like because I wanted it to be good and cute, and I wanted you to also want to make them and enjoy them. So I sketched so many face ideas because I didn't know what kind of like facial expression I wanted them to have, and I also drew like a bunch of different like fruit like possibilities that I could do. I want to do a bunch more because I want to like complete the collection. I want to do like all rainbow colored fruits. I want to do a red fruit, an orange fruit, yellow fruit, and so on. We're kind of starting in the middle where I have an orange fruit which is literally an orange, and a green fruit, which is a watermelon. I'm doing like the actual fruit of the watermelon, like as a whole, not really like a piece of it or anything. And with all of those sketches, I was like, well, what kind of, maybe I should do like skin tones, and they should have like different hair, but there's like too many different variations that I could have gone with, especially with the faces. Like there's so many different hairs I could do, and I didn't want it to be too busy, even though it would add character. But I don't know, maybe I'll revisit it in the future, but they'll also just remain in my sketchbook as like little fruit people that I drew. I just decided on doing faces in the same monochromatic color, and for like the face skin tone, quote skin tone, I'm just gonna do like the color, kind of a different variation of the color of the fruit. So my orange will have a slightly orangey pastel face, and so will the watermelon, and I will continue that with the other little fruit guys that I want to make, and so I can complete the collection. I keep asking if you want me to make a tutorial, but it really sounds like I'm gonna do it anyway. But yeah, just subscribe for that, and it'll be like a completely like a special video. I also apologize for a lot of the painting footage that is out of focus. My camera just kept focusing on the other little things on my desk. You see here I was trying to fix that and get closer to the camera. And I know like I'm filming, I should be making sure what I'm doing is being recorded, obviously. But when you're in the zone and you're painting, you kind of really forget about everything. So I do apologize that I wasn't more careful with recording it properly, but we're getting on some of the details now. I'm gonna keep it pretty simple with some of the details on these little guys. So I'm doing a nice dark green for the leaf and a lighter green for the stem. And like I said, I'm going back and forth between all of these while some are drawing, and I just want to get all of some of the major details down on. So I mentioned this before, that like using the colors that I had were a bit to my disadvantage, and that kind of happened here because I was not really picking great colors for the pins, and so I just kind of did like this really dark purple for the book on the like I Heart Books pin, and now I'm just finishing up a bit of that light pastel orange that I wanted to do for the face. And I think that might be the same light green that I did for the stem for the watermelon's face. And finally on to those green marks on watermelons, and these are usually like looking a little patchy on watermelons. They don't always connect, and so I tried to do that, but they do connect to like the end, or like the top and bottom of the watermelon, like where it was growing, so I made sure to do that. And for that stem I kind of just did like a dark green, and then I also added some splotches of yellow onto the orange because it's not always like the same orange color, so I wanted to mix it up and add some splotches of yellow to that. And then I used that yellow on this flower petal too. Now for the most scary part is doing the tiny face. I wanted to have like eyes, smile, and a little bit of blush. I want to write I love books here, and I think I would have a lot of issues doing that with a paintbrush. I'll probably use paint markers, and I'll probably do the blush with the paint markers as well. These are looking so cute and pretty much exactly how I wanted them to end up. I'll probably do some more details with paint markers, but it's a little orange guy. So cute. I started using paint markers on the other pins because I wasn't really happy with the colors, and I tried changing it up a bit with some of the
colors that might look good. So I changed the purple up a bit on that, and then tried to add some lighter areas to this purple flower. I didn't really know what I was doing. I just thought I tried to add a little bit of depth to it. It's not great, but it was just a fun little test to make a little flower. Then I continued some details with the paint marker to write I love books and a little red heart. And then I liked that red, so I used that again on that heart because I didn't really like that red. And then I later just like covered the entire thing in that red color, and then fixed up the watermelon a little bit with some more dark green. And after that all dries, and with a completely dry brush, I am going to gloss them with triple thick gloss. It's a really nice gloss. And I did a couple layers of this gloss and just covered the spots that my fingers weren't touching it, and then put that down very carefully, and then picked it back up once that was mostly dry so that I could touch the other end and gloss the other side. I know a lot of people do like dip it, but I didn't put like any hooks in these guys to do that, so I had to do this by hand.
Everything is dry, and I would love to show you the final results. So first, the pins. I think I'm definitely gonna go with different colors for the next round of these. I mean, the shapes are good. I just gotta work on the colors a bit. Very shiny. Also, they are super, super light with this clay. This is paper clay, by the way. I love books. Book. It's a little slanted. I was having trouble like trying to make it look like the drawing, which was like a slanted book, and this shape didn't work out very well. But again, this was a test, and I do like the colors, and maybe I'll like change it up a bit with the final ones that I make. Little watermelon buddy. I think I'm calling these like fruit desk pals. There's like tons of people that are making these kinds of things for like their online shops and their small businesses, and they have all different kinds of names. So I'm trying not to like copy one of their names, but like little fruit guys, I don't know. This one is so cute. I love the stem and the leaf and the details of like making the orange look porous. And if you haven't seen already, I've started making a lo-fi series on my channel with my own animations and like really nice music that you can just relax to, listen to while you study, reading, drawing, or just like hanging out. Just want some music in the background with a cute animation to have on your screen. I've started making those, and here is the first one that I uploaded, which was Citrus Lo-Fi, and the second one I made is a tea or a coffee cup kind of lo-fi. Yeah, I thought it would be perfect for the autumnal season, and I'm definitely going to keep making more of these. I'm thinking of making a holiday one coming up for the holiday season. Please enjoy these because I really like making the animations, and I spend a lot of time curating the music, so please enjoy them. So I wasn't even like planning on filming today. I got into a bit of doom scrolling and was just like, ugh, I don't feel good. I should be creative instead. Got these candies recently, and I like the wrapper, so I started saving the wrappers as I was eating them. Like with the idea in mind of like junk journaling with them, or like using them in my sketchbook or something like that. Let's like make a little sketchbook page with them. So I think I'll use this sketchbook. I am going to use school glue for this. I do have a glue stick, but I don't think it would stay on very well. You know, any junk journaler watching right now is like, don't use that glue. I'm sorry, it's all I have that would work. It's also like a really fun thing to add texture to your sketchbook pages. If you ever feel like one is like super blank and like you're just like not motivated to like do a background drawing, get some like receipts or like candy wrappers or, you know, like different textured paper and just like glue it on there, and then like you can draw on top of that, or you could just keep it there, or like even glue fabric to it. I'm just gonna close that for a second. Cool. And now this page smells like candy. I'm also gonna show you guys how I do my clover pages, kind of like this. Yeah, pages like this. This is my favorite one. The background is alcohol markers, and then I do paint markers on top. And so it's kind of like an underpainting in a way. Makes it look really bright and really cool. Just gonna cover the entire page. This is also a great way to just like get back into like out of art block, just doing stuff like this. There's not really like worries. It's just like have a lot of freedom. And super easy to draw clovers. Try to do different perspectives with them too. Really big ones, really small ones. And you could also do the actual clover flower, because there are clovers that bloom, and then color all that in. Like if you're ever stuck with art block, draw what you draw best, or like really fun things, then it's not so bad. Like there's so many different ways of like getting out of art block, and sometimes it could take months to get back into it. But like when you're not with your sketchbook and you do a little doodle on like a piece of paper and it's like really good, and you're like, what the heck? I should have been doing this in my sketchbook. Then you can just rip it out and put it in your sketchbook. And this is my warm-up for today because I haven't drawn in a while. I think I'll actually do some more. Okay. Now with a different green, I'm gonna do like fill in that whole area where I can see that overlap. So like right here where it touches, I'm gonna use that there. Here I can see the overlap on that spot. Here as well, and then just like do that all everywhere. I'm gonna get back to those clover flowers because you cannot see them, so I'm gonna fix those. Let me just cover this so that I have something to work with on top. There are red clovers. Like it's an interesting contrast color too. And now for the part that I like the most, other than drawing the clovers of course, is filling in the background area. Leave just like a little bit of the actual blue under there, but fill in everywhere else. It's a lot more fun to do this with darker colors so that the marker background that you do after, like, you can see it a little bit better. So I chose a really light color to demonstrate this for you, but I haven't tried blue before, so this is a little experiment. And also with these pages, I will use that alcohol marker that I tried for the background to kind of do an outline on some of the parts where it's overlapping. And since this blue is really light, I don't think you'll be able to see it. So I'm gonna use a darker blue. So just on those little parts where it overlaps, use the marker on there. And I just think it makes it pop a little. I don't usually draw anything else in the background, but today I kind of feel like doing that. Today's funky sketchbook spread. I do want to thank you so much for watching this little vlog. I had so much fun painting these little clay guys, which are right here and they're doing very well. Subscribe and like this video if you want me to make a bunch more as a tutorial. I hope you had fun crafting with me and watching this video, and I hope you have a good day. And again, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to leave a like and a comment and subscribe. Be sure to check out all my other videos, and I will see you next time. Goodbye, everybody.